great man checking to see if I'm got a big enough hole here. Good to have measure them. Good to have somebody measuring these, because you can be off on them. You can mess up. And if the rebar don't fit, these guys don't like it. So anyway, same old tune. NOB making holes in the ground. Get a little dirt out of the way here so I can dig the next one. You can probably see there's another row of these. This is the second row. I think it's going to be all of them for this building in the middle of it. So the way I do this is I set up, try to get lined up. Now you can kind of see the backhoe's not in line with the ditch. I'm off a little bit there, I need to move over. The reason for that is I like to be able to swing the dirt over to the left a little further. And also after I dig this area here out, I'm going to move the machine over. So by having the front end already pointed over to the right, make it easier to set up for my next set there. But the first thing I do is I'll score that outside line. I might score it a couple times, and by score it I mean just scratch it. There's a rock right there. That's why I don't pull hard on the first one. A couple passes through there, you kind of push back, kind of define that corner a little better, just kind of score it a little deeper. And then we'll punch the center out. And I've talked about this before, this is the cleanest way to dig a spot footing if you don't want to bust the edges off of it. You can actually just dig your center out down, you don't have to go super deep, but dig your center down below the crust, the crusty part of the dirt, and then you kind of work your way back over to that edge. You notice I kind of left that nail. That helps me see where that corner is supposed to be in case I get sidetracked and forget. So pretty easy deal. Just kind of work your way back over. That far wall, I'm going to try to keep one tooth on that line. It won't be exactly flat, but if I keep that one tooth on the line, dig straight down, I'll get that far wall established vertical best I can. And that just takes a little trimming. It takes a little bit of eyeballing and getting used to knowing what vertical looks like from sitting over here 15 feet away from the hole or 20. It might help you to get out and look at it if you don't know for sure what you got there. We're going to go on down, get the center close to grade. It's going to have to go a little deeper than that, but now I'm going to start working back to that edge. You can see I'm just kind of cutting down easy. I don't want to pull a big chunk out, and when I do lift the bucket, I'll swing over toward the middle. That keeps you from pulling that edge up. Now we'll come back and we'll do another cut down that scored line just to kind of get a feel for what it's doing. See if it's going to behave or not. I don't think it's going to behave too well yet, so we're going to keep cutting the edge off of it. We'll just kind of trim it until we get over to it. Is this the easiest way to do it? No, it's not, but it's the cleanest way to do it. The easiest way to dig it is to dig that outside edge first all the way down to grade. And the reason I say that's the easiest is because that's your buckets. You're not going to have resistance pushing it one way. It's going to dig more even. It's going to dig straight down. By doing it this way though, you can do a lot cleaner edge on it. We'll see here in a minute. Let's take a little practice. But if I were just digging this edge up, it would have already busted probably 6 inches out or more. It might yet, I don't know. Let's see. It's pretty good dirt. It's got a few rocks in it. It's not bad. You can see we got a pretty nice defined edge there now. Now we should be able just to go on down and follow that. Wipe a little dirt off the top. So it's pretty sharp except for the dust on top. I couldn't keep it straight. The dust you can't dig straight. Everything under it, we got it pretty close to being right on the money. So that's how I do it. Like I say, there's other ways to do it. I've done it other ways, but this is the best I've found for doing clean, neat spot footings or spread footings, whatever you want to call them. Some people call them piers, which they kind of are a type of pier. Kind of left a little tooth mark in it that time. I shouldn't have did that. But you can kind of look in that corner and see if you're square on the vertical. If you look down that corner, in that corner you can kind of you can get a pretty good idea of whether your back wall's vertical or not. I think we need to go down another inch maybe. Close? I guess we're close right there. Kind of got a high spot over the edge of that wall. I'm going to take it down just a little bit and then just kind of drag this up. And then we're going to come up here and do a vertical cut straight down this corner. We're not going to worry if it's perfect. We're just going to get the bulk of the material out of it. We'll clean that up on another, we'll turn sideways and clean that up on another pass. So now we're going to scoot the machine over and see that's the reason I didn't want the machine directly straight with my dig, is I wanted to be able to move over and not have to reposition the front end. Works out quicker, it's faster. We're just going to square up that back wall from this side. kind of perfect it a little bit, just trim on it a little bit. Not going to get carried away on it. Sometimes you might want to move over and just trim with one tooth. Makes it easier. Once we get that kind of figured out, there's a rock right in there, just kind of there it went. Sometimes you can knock them little rocks out of there and they won't bother you much. Sometimes they knock a hole in the wall. So we should be pretty close to grade there. Maybe one more cleanup pass on this edge here. I'm going to clean that back wall up just a little more. That rock was kind of messing with me at the top there a little bit. Take that down. You can see there's some slack in my backhoe. It's always pretty loose. So I got to take up the slack in it. You don't really see me do that, but if you get good at taking that slack up, it doesn't look like you got a lot of slack. So. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can kind of use the back side of your bucket and brush that back wall. Make it look like it was dug from the side. You don't have to do that, but you can. Well, that's pretty much down the grade. Move over again. You don't have to move over a full bucket. You can just go like that much. It's probably plenty. Anyway, it's just a matter of practice and just, just being neat. Try to be neat with what you're doing. We got a 35G excavator pulling up here. From the looks of it, might be a plumber. They got some pipe on the truck, so over to my right. So, Little Red ain't here because I hauled the backhoe down here last Friday, and this is Monday, so I actually brought the backhoe down. I said, no, we ain't digging today. I wish they'd have told me before I got down here, but anyway, so dropped the backhoe off, left it here, drove my pickup today. So anyway, that's why Little Red's not here. Little Red will be back with me when I finish this. Take me and B home. Got a trucker working on moving my excavator this week, maybe, to a little pond job. It's a little wet to work on pond jobs, but I think we can do what he needs to do. Just kind of cleaning out a pond that's silted in. The silted in area is not underwater. So. Just making a few passes through there, knock down the ridges, makes it easier to see a flat bottom. So that's that. Looking good from this angle. See how we did on grade, might be a little deep. Actually needs to go down just a little bit. Takes a lot of digging these to really see grade and to be able to dig a flat bottom from the far side all the way across to the near side. But it can be done. I'm going to do what I call a crab walk. I'm going to raise my outriggers, use the back bucket to pick up my front end, slide over, reset my outriggers, and then now I'm in a position to go ahead and slide over to get in line with this side, like that. Actually, I'm a little too close. Go ahead and score this. I may move forward just a little bit here. I'll do this side the same. I'll score it, and I'll stay away from it until I get all that dirt out of the middle dug out. I'll ease over into it. So nothing to it. It's easy. Easier if you got a backhoe. I've done these with mini excavators. It's harder to get that back wall square with an excavator. The way their buckets curl and the way they're set up, you gotta maneuver them quite a bit to get that back wall straight. And a lot of times you end up going around from the other side and squaring it up. That's kind of jagged, but if we ease down to it, it'll clean up pretty nice. Not sure where the mini X is going. He's leaving. Might be going to another part of the job over there. I don't know. There's another building they're putting up. let me come back in here and scratch out some spots for where they're hanging bolts. Looks like that's kind of what this guy's over here doing now, I think. Sometimes they need your 2x4 that they hang bolts on to be down below dirt grade so they get the height on the bolts right. So what they'll do is they'll have me dig down on 2 sides of the spot footing for hanging bolts, putting the boards in to hang bolts. Makes it easier on the carpenters or the whatever they call them. You notice I'm not running super fast on the backhoe, just slow and steady and keeping things neat, keeping the machine in the right position, and that helps me to it helps 2 things. It helps you make a neat dig, and it also saves you fuel. Well, also, it's faster. If you dig smooth, it's always faster, I think. If you dig rough, you're going to end up busting the walls off of it. You're going to end up with more dirt, and you got to move. So it's not always beneficial to just rip through it. So once we get to that point, then we're going to reposition and clean up the near wall. Get the backhoe set where you need it, close to it, and then you adjust. I missed it by about 4 inches, maybe 3. So on this wall, I'm going to just kind of push backwards from that corner. Still have my layout nail there. I already lost the one on that side, but that's okay. We know where it was at because we stored that. Well, actually the nail's still over there. Right there. The biggest, most important thing you can do on these is be darn sure you keep your layout as long as you can. Still see a little orange paint on this side. I think I probably need to trim it back a little bit. Trim both ways, forward and backwards. Still see just a little bit of orange paint, but I think we're far enough. Sometimes the paint lines are pretty wide. So that's about how long it ought to take you to dig a spot footing out, 9 by 9 by, that's about 2.5 foot deep. They call it 3 foot, but they measure below finished floor. Finished floor is probably 6 inches above that hole, so, or the top of dirt, so about 2.5 foot right there, 30 inches. Down just a smidge. What we'll do is we'll just kind of trim back from the center. We hit the center pretty close, so we'll kind of come back. There's a little bit of a dip down on that side over there, I think. Still need to go down a little bit. That's close. Take some ridges out while I'm at it. Not really taking it down any deeper, but cleaning it up a little bit. So on the finished passes, what we'll do is we'll put the bucket flat on the bottom, where we just bump into the wall a little bit. Can't see where the end of the bucket's at, and we're just going to kind of push that to the corner. We'll have a little bit in the bucket. There's always more in the hole than you think there is, seems like. A little rub on that edge there. Makes her look a little neater, then we're going to kind of use the bottom of the tooth and kind of clean it up just a little bit more. Like so. Anyway, there you go. That's the finished spot footing. Grade man will have a little bit in the corner to dig out. One thing you do want to check though is like this corner here, you kind of want to push down on it and make sure you get all the crumbs out of that corner. Otherwise he'll have to probably pick it out with a shovel or something. I think we're good. Should be clean there. Anyway, there you go. That's all there is to it. You just get your backhoe and start digging. Nothing to it. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Just like it. Turn around here and move my spoil pile a little bit. Skid steer can't quite keep up. He's having to go quite a ways. 5, 6, 7, there's 14 total, I guess. Anyway. This ain't a bad way to spend a Monday. Nice office view and central heat and air. Life is good.